Hello, Sherry. Welcome to your Small Business Podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. I am so glad to be here. I am enjoying this beautiful weather this Sunday. So
Me
it's
too.
been a couple of days where we've been having dreary weather. So it's all bright. So I'm
And what state are you in?
matching the energy.
What state are you in?
Texas. I'm in Dallas.
Texas. Oh,
Yes.
wow. I'm in Tennessee. Okay.
Okay, girl. All them
Yeah.
mountains.
So let's just do a little introduction. You tell us, who you are, what you do, and how has your entrepreneurial journey got you to where you are today?
Okay, so I'm Sherri Michelle. I am a author, soon to be author. My book will be coming out this summer. I am an investor and a coach. So I teach people how to build teams and grow to 6 and 7 figures. And I'm so loving that journey. I have been an entrepreneur since elementary school, for real, for real.
Yeah.
Like I was the candy lady at school, okay? But in my adult life, I actually started out in the MLM industry. I know for the people watching, I know. I know.
I mean, it works for some, I guess.
Right. It wasn't me though. It was not me. And I tried several. It wasn't me. So I did that. And then in 2017, I decided that I was going to go ahead and just make this journey work for me, right? So I had done a lot of stopping and starting and shiny object syndrome where, ooh, look at this business. Ooh, look at this business. And I know some of y'all can feel that. So in 2017, I was like, okay, Sheri, we about to make this work. Hook, crook, whatever. And so I decided to start my journey as in the financial realm, teaching entrepreneurs how to get their business funded, teaching people how to start their companies and things of that nature. And then that evolved into me helping businesses grow teams and teaching them how to be successful leaders in their business so that they could get the best out of their employees. And I absolutely love helping people build teams. It's one of those things that I kind of tripped into.
It's like, oops, I fell.
I literally tripped into it. Like it was a whole trip. But since I've been here, it has been a fantastic journey. And because the entrepreneurs that I help, once they get their flow going, it's such a freeing experience because they get their time back, but their incomes are going up. And that's always the best possible scenario.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So you have been a very busy woman the last few years. And that's something that we're talking about today, is how building a business doesn't have to be exhausting and expensive. So first off, how do you balance work, family, and making time for yourself? How do you balance all that?
So I'm going to be honest. It was no balance before I got a team. So listeners, and I keep saying listeners, what's your squad, girl? What?
I call them business bays.
Okay, so business bays. Let me talk to y'all directly, okay?
Yes.
So there was no balance before. I was working from sundown to sundown. Like I would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I would be working until 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night and then get up and do it again. Business, especially when you're starting a business, is exhausting. It takes a lot of time and energy. And give me just a second. I just want to move this up just a little bit. It takes a lot of time and energy, and you constantly have to-do lists. So the hard part was figuring out I needed a team. Once I ran out of time, I was like, I got to get somebody else in here. And then the best decision that I made was hiring virtual staff, and I now get to sleep. Like I the sun actually beat me this morning.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
So now I'm at the point in my business where I'm able to work on it and not in it because my staff is there to do the actual work. And so my family, if they, of course, I'm still a workaholic because I'm a
Mm-hmm.
business owner. And so, but if my family needs something, it's not as imperative for me to show up for my business as it was before. So that's how I have my balance. I understood that a team was needed. I created one. I trained them well, and then I handed the keys over and was like, "Y'all handle
Yes.
it."
Yes. And I always say, when you get to that point in your business where you need some help, that means you're doing something right. That doesn't mean that, I'm not doing good. I'm failing at this part. No, that means you're doing something right. It means your business is growing.
My business is growing, but I'm gonna tell you something that a lot of people don't know, and I'm gonna let y'all in on secret to business base. You need to hire somebody as soon as you start business. The
Yeah.
sooner that you create a budget for someone, the sooner you're gonna see success in your business. Y'all think that it's backwards. It sounds backwards, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you the truth. The sooner you start delegating stuff out, I don't do nothing for myself now, child. I got the delegation bug so hard. I don't do my
That is so funny.
I have a meal prepper. I have someone come in to clean the house.
Yes.
Girl, I'm about to add somebody pulling up and filling up my car so I don't have to go to the gas. That is the most annoying. Fun
Girl.
fact about Sherri Michelle, I do not like going to the gas station. It is an interruption of my day. I will have, child, there are services now that will come in and fill it up right outside.
Really? Is it?
See, delegation is y'all friend, ladies.
I had no idea. I finally got to where, yes, I have a maid. Yes, that was like the best thing ever. I really thought about hiring a laundry service just to come do
So
the
that your
laundry and
clothes
fold
don't
the
be sitting
clothes.
there looking at you on the bed for 3 days like, ma'am.
Yeah, I have no panties clean. Where's Yeah, I told my husband, I think we need a laundry service. Yep. But you're right. And a lot of people, they don't want to let go of that. Some people don't want to do that whole delegation thing. They don't want to let go of parts of their business and different things like that. But it's only to help you and make your life easier.
I'm a recovering not let her goer.
But now you
And,
know.
and people will say, well, and I know I see you, Hunty. I see you. Well, can't nobody do it like me. What if
Yeah,
they can do it better? Have you thought about that?
that's
Huh?
true.
Huh? Because
Mhm.
guess what? My team do it better than me.
Okay. Let's see. Because I've often, heard, we all have our zone of genius. You're not a genius in every single thing. So if you know that you're not good with math like I am when it comes to the money part, hand it over to somebody else to do.
Hand it over. And it's
Yeah.
okay. The best way for me to put that, and I people think I'm crazy about this sometimes until they actually hear what I'm saying. You shop at Walmart, right?
Yes.
You shop at Walmart. When the last time you seen a Walton in Walmart?
A what?
A Walton. Walton family owns Walmart. When the last time you seen one of the
Oh,
Walton families in Walmart?
they probably don't even use Walmart stuff.
The only reason they probably know what Walmart is because they own Walmart.
Right.
If
Probably
not, they
know.
would be Paris Hilton.
Exactly.
So they make millions of dollars an hour because they hired people to
Mhm.
handle their stores.
That makes a lot of
Millions of
sense.
dollars an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet they don't know anything that's going on except that they're making money.
That they're
They're not
making.
over nothing. You're exactly right. And that is a great example to say that delegation is okay. Yes, it is. It is. And
It's the key. It's the key.
it is.
I did some research and I researched companies and I researched people who run companies. One, Robert Kiyosaki. Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is one of the most brilliant people that most people have no idea who he is or what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Warren Buffett is that billionaire who controls how stocks move. He's that person that has his hands in a little bit of everything. But he doesn't, he's money smart. So even though he's, depending on the day, in the top 5 richest people on the planet, like he's 100 billionaire.
Yeah.
He drives a Toyota Corolla. He lives in the same house he lived in 1972 because he understands the power of money and its inflation. So with me watching that, hiring is one of the things that every single solitary company that made it to 10 years has in common.
Yeah, you're right.
They hire. It's one of the things. There are other things they have in common, but it's about 5 of them. And one of the main things is that they hire. You can't build a successful company without employees or contractors or however you want to word it. But you can't be the only one there because the income stops and starts with you. Yeah. My income does not stop and start with me.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's hard. And that's another question I wanted to ask you about, because you were saying as far as that is when you got all your free time back, and when you start making more money is hiring your team. So what are some obstacles that you ran into when doing that, when trying to build that team, and how did you resolve those issues?
So the first major thing was that I had to actually realize that I needed one.
Yeah.
And that, and I'm gonna call some of y'all hard-headed. We just gonna call a spade a spade. I was hard-headed, and I did not want to do that because I didn't want to give my business away. I didn't want to hand it over. I was like, and in research, I have found that women entrepreneurs are more guilty of that than men entrepreneurs. My men clients, they're like, oh, I ain't gotta do that no more. How much is it? Girl, let me write this check.
I'm telling you, they don't care.
What can I do?
It's so funny.
But the women entrepreneurs, we treat our businesses as babies. So it's harder for us to be able to let go of those reins, even though it's something good for us. I like to use the example of a raccoon. If you put a piece of food in a trap and the raccoon, like in some metal bars, the raccoon can free itself by letting it go and get right out, but they won't let it go because they're like, no, I can't. That's the same thing with women entrepreneurs. We are so focused on holding on to our business that we won't just let it go and free ourselves with the financial power and the time freedom and the freedom for our family, because we want to do it all and be it all everywhere, and we can't do that.
Yeah, we think
yourself drag it business base.
Yes, definitely, because I think we're so used to having that control over our families, control over our life, just everything. Then when it comes to running the business, we want to hoover over that too and just say, it can't survive without me. No, I got to do it all. But we don't have to be Superwoman.
I don't want to be Superwoman.
I'm either. You work too hard.
I don't want to be Superwoman.
She works too hard for me.
I can't do it anymore. Now that I know I can't do it anymore. And the magical thing about it is, my team is better in areas that I'm not good in. I'm not good at organization. That's not, I'm good at putting things together. Like if you give me a to-do list, it's going to get done. But am I good at actually staying organized? No, not at all. But my operations manager is amazing at it. And she does all of our contracts, and she makes sure the meetings are in place, and she makes sure I'm where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be. And she keeps up with all of my other employees, so I don't have to. I'm still in control of everything. I get notifications. I can log into everything. I can instantly kill access to whatever system I want to kill access to whoever I want to take the access away from. So I'm still in complete and utter control. I just ain't got to do it all.
Yes, that's exactly where we all need to be. So once you figured that out, that you needed the help, and then when you started hiring, did you look specifically for where you were weak at, or
So
how did you do that?
the first obstacle was that I didn't know. The second obstacle, I have to say, was that I didn't have the time. I was so busy that I actually had to schedule hiring. Like, I was like, where am I going to find the time to not only hire, but train these people?
Right.
Because the hiring part is the easy part. Once you get them on, what am I going to give them to do? How am I going to keep them busy to where they have a position? Because I'm thinking, oh, well, I'm thinking my brain, like, oh, well, I only have this, and this, not knowing that my team has a whole nother brain with a whole nother list of things that I didn't even think of for my business.
Wow.
That they're going to come to me and be like, well, what about this? Oh, yeah, we need to work on that. So
let's add that to the list.
Right. But in adding that to the list, I'm not adding it as myself. I'm adding it as a person with someone who can help. So it's not always Sheri. It's like, Sheri, hey, I need this. And I'd be like, so-and-so, can you please help me with this?
Roger, you get that message?
So, and that's literally what happens. I have the Voxer app. I don't know a lot of people. It's a walkie-talkie app. So I literally just talk to my staff on walkie-talkie and out in a second be like, hey, I need flight details for this city at this time. Can you please send it to my email? And in 5 or 7 minutes, I'll have flight details.
That's awesome.
Dinner reservations or something like that. And it sounds small, but when you have 100 things to do, for somebody to just be able to pick up the phone and be like, hey, can you order dinner for the kids for me real quick? They want this, and this.
That's a lifesaver. That's what it is. Well, I'm hearing you. I'm like, no, that's not small. That helps you. That takes time out of your day for you to focus on the important, like what you want to focus on, what you need to focus on. Yes, is what it does.
So in the hiring process, because your next question was how did I go about it? I actually created a process. And I looked at some YouTube videos, YouTube University, and kind of figured out a couple of things that were important. And so I came up with this whole process, right? And the initial hires had to be strong. Like, I needed people who could come in and be independent workers as quickly as possible because I was already overloaded. So I had to be hard on the first hires that I had because I needed really good people. So the process was like, I put an application out there. I put certain instructions in the application. Like, do this, do that. If you didn't do it, you're automatically out. You don't have attention to detail that I need. So I may have halfway down the application process, I may have put blue in between your name. If I ain't see blue in between there, I'm not even looking at your application. You didn't read the whole post. You're not detail oriented enough for me. I'm sorry. So then for the people who moved on to the next round, it was, I would text them, like send them messages back and forth. And I was doing interviews from people overseas because that's the cheaper route to go. And I'm going to tell all of y'all, overseas is the cheaper route to go. Period.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
Their economies are not as expensive as the U.S. is. And so for you to get the help that you need, really, really good, dedicated help, go overseas. So I wanted to make sure that I would go back and forth and wanted to make sure that they had a good grasp on the English language. So the next thing was emails. Can you make a good sentence? Can you answer? And so I had them sending me paragraphs so that I could actually like judge how
Yeah.
they had, how good they were.
Like
Because I
grade
knew,
them.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. Because one of the first things that I wanted to give up was the phone. I didn't want to
Mhm.
answer my own phone no more. I wanted to hire customer service to answer the phone.
Mhm.
So I needed them to be good with English in order to do that. So several more dropped off because they ain't keep up with the follow-up. How fast are you answering me? How good are your answers? That kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So then we went to the actual interview process where it was a face-to-face interview. Now I can see you. Now I can talk to you and get to know you. And it was business questions, of course, but it was also questions about who they were as a person, because this is somebody I'm going to be working closely with. So I want to make sure that our personalities match.
Right.
That's important.
Yes. Yes, it
That
is.
is important. Not only do I want you to be an independent person, but if I want to laugh and joke one day, you laughing and joking with me. Like I hee hee ha ha with my staff.
Yeah.
My staff is not just staff, they're family. I feel that I'm responsible for them. And it's a whole it's a whole nother other level of grind when you get a staff. Let me just
Yeah.
put it to you. Like, it unlocks Super Saiyan entrepreneur. Like, when you feel responsible for if someone else's household eats, it
Yes.
unlocks a whole nother level.
Yes.
So after the in-person interviews, the people that I meshed well with went on to the next step, which was we actually had like 2 hours where they worked for me, and I
Mhm.
paid them like a small like hourly fee, maybe like $5 or $10 for the $20 for the test, and I did it with like 4
Mhm.
people. And I gave them things to do, like that was going to be in the job role. And we did
Okay.
this on Zoom. And so I intentionally left instructions out of the task that I was giving them, so that they had to ask questions
Okay.
of me. So I knew how they worked, how much attention to detail they paid. Because if I'm telling you, hey, I need a flight in Atlanta, well, you need to know what time I'm trying to leave.
Yeah.
You need to know what hotel area I'm trying to go to. Like, where's your event so I can find a hotel. So if I'm telling you,
Yeah.
hey, I'm going to an event in Atlanta on the 23rd, find me a flight in a hotel, you need more detail.
That definitely.
So we were working together throughout that. And that's the process that I made my first hires go through to get hired.
That's a great process. Like I'm up here like I'm gonna have to take notes. A lot of my shows, I'm like, I go back and listen, take notes. Like that is a great process to make sure, because I mean, basically, this is your baby, and you want to make sure that you're handing it off to someone that's responsible and can continue to make it grow. And that is a great process to
Yes.
hire.
So after they went through all of that, 2 people came up shining like diamonds, and we've been working together ever since.
Wow.
They don't want to. And one of the things, and this is leadership training, but one of the things that I pride myself on is that it's not just a one-sided relationship. So when I sent them offer letters, my offer letter was like, I am so happy to offer you this job. And if you accept and see that it's a good fit for you as well, then we would be happy for you to join us.
Wow.
So we both have to accept each other. It's
Yeah.
not just one-sided.
How long was that process, that whole hiring process? How long did that take that you did with them?
It was about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
It was about 2 weeks, but it was a couple of hours here, a couple of hours there. I did. And so like the first week was the like 3 days I had the application up. So that was letting new applicants come in. And then after I got about 25 applicants, I cut it off. And then the next step was all the emails back and forth, and people was dropping like flies on that one.
Wow. Because they can put blue right there after the name. Now you can't do that. Then now you can't work with me. I still put blue.
Exactly. I did. It's intentional stuff that you put in there. So after that, that was a couple of days. So then it was scheduling the interviews, and that was the second week. So the second interviews took place like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I did the test the next Monday. So it was literally straight 2-week process. And then I thought about the people and their how well they did, and just the type of questions they were asking me. And it was one person who came to the test task, and I emailed them the list of things that I wanted them to do throughout the test task. She did not ask me a single question.
Wow. Did she?
She just sent me random stuff. So like when I said, hey, I need a flight to Atlanta, she sent me every flight to Atlanta for that day. How is that helpful?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't need the whole day. I just need one flight.
Right.
What
And
time are
you
you
can
trying
ask
to
any
leave?
question. Yeah. So, yeah. So she didn't make it. She didn't get on the island.
and which was another important lesson, because she was actually my favorite.
Oh, really?
She was my favorite. Throughout the process, me and her, we were laughing and joking and vibing and all of that throughout the whole process. And when it came to that test task, she did not ask a single question. And the person who was right behind her, the one who is my operations manager to this day, she was the one who just ran through.
Wow. Ain't that something? I guess she the other girl, she would make a more better just friend than an actual business than working with her.
Yes.
So let's touch on the expensive part, because you said, of course, business doesn't have to be exhausting or expensive. So when it comes to that, how did you manage to be successful without going into debt or spending your own funds to grow your business? How did you manage that expensive part? Because a lot of people go into debt and go get loans and credit cards and do all that stuff trying to fund their business. What did you do different?
Okay, so I would be lying to y'all if I didn't say that I never used my own money. If you are in business, at some point in time, you're going to use your own money. Mm-hmm. So let's just squash that. Unless you have a sugar somebody, or
daddy.
Or if you just have those connections where you can just call somebody and they write you a $50,000 check, you're going to use your own money at some time. So bootstrapping is okay. Mm-hmm. The problem is people think that everything is overnight and they're not ready for the full process of what it takes. So did I get funded? Absolutely. Have I still used my own funds? Absolutely. Okay. And that's okay. Yeah. But one thing, when I made that decision in 2017, that entrepreneurship was going to work for me, and I'm about to say something, guys, so that I know a lot of you are going to connect with. Entrepreneurs think differently. We are a different breed of people.
Yes.
We are different. And I don't care how many times you walk away from this journey because you're frustrated, or you don't have the funds, or something else comes up, like family has to take over, you have health scares or whatever. Eventually, you're going to walk right back into this journey.
Yep.
Every time. So in 2018, I had my first major hurdle, and I thought about giving up, and I said, Sheri, you just gonna come back. So let's not do that this time. Let's stick it out. I know it's hard. Like, it was me in the bathroom on the floor in the fetal position crying hard. Oh. It be them moments. Yeah. So don't let the glitz and the glam of social media fool y'all. It's some very tough moments in this journey. Yes. So, and I'm being real here. A lot of people are not. So I want this to be a real interview. So I decided that I was going to make this journey work for me. In that decision, the rest of my life had to join it. So I started making decisions based on how I wanted my company to grow. So I was working in insurance, and I had an opportunity to go from employee to contractor. I was like, well, contractor, I have more freedom of time, which would give me more freedom to build my business. Mm-hmm. So let me make this decision to move over to contracting so that I have more time to build my business. And I make more money, so I have more money available if my business needs it. In 2018, I had a contract that I was making money. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, money. I was probably making 12 or 13,000 a month.
Oh yeah.
And I had an opportunity to work from home. But
Always sounds good.
it was paying less.
Mm.
But I was like, I will, if I'm working from home, that means that I can work my business here and work my contract here.
Right.
So I have to take it because that's what's best for my what? Business.
Right.
That's best for the long-term goal, not short-term, long-term. So I started working from home in 2018 so that I could grow my company.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, please understand, I have had several things come up in life. Like I've had deaths in my family. My mother had a health issue in 2020, and I've still kept going the whole time. I may have gotten slowed down a bit, but my business has still taken precedent every day.
Mm-hmm.
The decisions that I make for my wallet are decisions that I make for my business. So for a couple of, I know y'all have heard, work 5 years and then do things that people don't have the money to do anymore. Like
Right.
do what others won't do so that you can do what others can't do. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Do 5 years of what others won't do so that you can live the rest of your life like others can.
That's it.
So
Yep.
that's it.
I knew what you were saying, Donna. Like, that's it.
So that's what I said, dog it,
Get on
we
the
about to
ground.
do this. We about to run it till the wheels fall off. So
Mm-hmm.
I have used my own money, and bootstrapping is okay as long as you are educated and you are being responsible with your bootstrapping.
Yeah, definitely. Because a lot of
And you
people
have
not.
an end goal in mind.
Yeah.
So I have an opportunity and I have a skill where I'm able to jump into a contract real quick, make a lot of money, and then come back out. So if I need to grow something in my company, I'll just grab a contract real quick. Right now, I'm actually with a company right now that pays me $10,000 a month. That's for marketing. So I can take 10 grand, put it in marketing, and grow that to 7 figures.
Right.
Why wouldn't I?
Exactly.
That makes sense. It's not about the comfort of it, because there's a lot of uncomfortable decisions that happen in entrepreneurship. I
Yes.
don't do it a lot of things for myself. I do a lot of things for my employees first.
Mm-hmm.
My employees are the most important thing to me. The second is my family. Like I don't want my nieces and nephews to have to work like I have to work.
Mm-hmm. Definitely so. So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about its sudden. Oop, I can't talk. It's sudden success. Now, that's your business,
Yes.
and you deal with capital funding. So explain what its sudden success does, and then we'll explain what exactly is capital funding.
Yes. So, one of the things that a lot of people don't know when they're coming into business is how to successfully put their business together. So, sudden success helps the newbies in business grow their company success the right way so that banks will actually take them seriously.
Yeah, definitely so. And so with that, that's you have your VA with that too, right? That's all together. So you do a number of things. You get the VA, you can get how to basically start from point A
Bottom of, and now we
all the way
here.
to the top and help organize your business and get it together.
Yes.
Um, and you deal with the capital funding. What exactly is capital funding? How
Okay,
does that work?
so I use the term bootstrapping. So in business, bootstrapping is using your own funds. Capital funding is using other people's money. OPM, my favorite thing in the world.
Other people's money. OPM.
OPM, other people's money. So you want your company to look a certain way for the banks to even take you seriously, so that you're not pulling money out of your own pocket to fund your company. Because honestly, business is expensive. It takes money to make money. It takes a lot of money to make a lot of money. So
Yes,
if you want to make a little money, you're going to spend a little money. If you want to make a lot of money, you're going to spend. People spend $1 million on Facebook ads to make $1 million.
yeah,
They just do.
yeah, they do. They do. That's the
So
way it works.
I'm not there yet.
You get there.
But I have not given Mark a meal ticket yet.
No, me neither. Not no million. Sorry, Mark.
Sorry, not sorry.
No.
But so capital funding is someone giving your business getting funded by someone else, because essentially you want your business to be a separate entity from you in all entirety.
Right. So you assist people with that process as far as getting ready to put it out there for the banks. So that company can present themselves the best. So the bank will say, hey, here's this $50,000, $100,000 that you want.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely. We want you looking as good as possible. So that ABC Bank, BCA Bank, all of them be like, yeah, girl, I want to give you money. We want them offering you money.
Yes.
And it does happen that way. Like all the same way that you'll get credit card offers in the mail for yourself. We want you to be getting credit card offers in your business name the same way.
Yeah. And I end up tearing those up. And so every time I'm like, nope, I don't want that right now. I don't want it. But you gotta be ready. I'm not ready for that yet. I just
be ready. Because with those come responsibilities. But you know, and this is just an extra tip. I'm gonna get to the business base today. Your credit cards can be a source of income.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can.
They can be a source of income. So don't mess out them cards, ladies, because that card can be bringing you in some serious money.
Yes, it really can. It can. Well, why don't you explain a little bit more to them as to how that happens? How does it work? So they won't max it out.
Okay. So let's say that you have a $25,000 credit card, right? And it is, I don't know, 5 years old, right? There's someone out there who would love to take that credit history from you, and they'll pay you for it. I actually know 2 people right now who are making almost 6 figures a year, adding people to their credit cards so that person's credit can go up.
I heard that.
Yes. Okay. So your credit card is essentially a trade line, and the more people you can add to it, and there are some banks who allow this and some that don't. So they're all not the same. But if your credit card is a trade line. So if you have a $25,000 limit and it has some age to it, you can actually sell that. They never get a credit card. They never have access to the funds. They just want that to show up on their credit so that they can boost their score to be able to apply and qualify for different loans and credit cards.
I have heard about that. There was I forgot where I heard it from, but I did a little research, and it's some companies that do that now. That will let you do that. Yeah. So, yeah, because most people get that credit card and swipe, and max it out, not realizing, hey, you could actually put that credit card it can be your business.
House too.
Yeah. You don't just have to buy those Coach bags with that credit card. Now you can do something else with it.
Yes. Every room in your house, every bedroom in your house is a trade line.
You mean like for business? Look.
No, there are also companies that will use rent as trade lines. So you can actually do the same thing with the bedrooms in your house.
Look at you. You're going to have all my people Googling the mess out of this episode. Trying to figure out what is she talking about. Let me see about this, because I got 4 bedrooms in my house. Let me see.
Right. And it's money in them bedrooms, girl.
Okay. I might have to Google too. I got 4 up in here. I got 4. Let's see what I can figure out. So, what are
Yes.
some of the most common issues that people have when trying to get funding for their business? What's some because a lot of people have some issues. Because I know, of
Mm-hmm.
course, your credit is an issue.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are some of the most common issues that people mess
The
up when it
most
comes to
common
that?
issue, you want the most common?
The
They
most
hard
common.
headed. They hard headed. You hard headed. And I say
Mm.
that as a former hard head. You hard headed.
What are they hard headed about?
We can sit here and say, oh yeah, you need credit. No, you're hard headed. You want to reinvent the wheel. You want to make shortcuts. You
Yeah.
want $100,000 tomorrow. No,
Yeah.
ma'am. No, ma'am. You
Yeah.
have to go through the same thing that the rest of us went through, which is build, build, build. You
Mm-hmm.
have to build your company time. You have to get a mentor and follow what they tell you to do. That is the best thing for me to tell you. I don't that's one of the things that kind of puts me that's one of the hardest things about being in the coaching space is that people get in their own way.
Yes.
There are systems in place for everything. Nothing out here is new. There's
Mm.
nothing new.
Good point.
The only thing that shows up new is technology. Everything else is repurposed.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody has already done it. Find that person and ask a whole bunch of questions.
Yes.
And if they require payment, pay them, people. Because
Mm-hmm.
a hard head is the most common mistake. In
Yeah.
every line of business, there's a hard head that is the problem.
Right. You're exactly right. I know there's a lot of doing this podcast has got me to where I come in contact with a lot of people, especially a lot of people have businesses, and a lot of them are like that. There's a lot of hard-headed people who don't want to really. I say they don't want to invest in themselves. They don't want to pay money for a mentor, for a coach to teach them. And like you said, everything that you're trying to do has already been done. So why not learn from those people? And that is the best, one of the best things that you can do is hire your own coach. Someone, now I'm not just talking about anybody because there's a lot of coaches out here. And there's a
Oh,
lot of
girl,
coaches out here.
Clubhouse is Coach Central. You hear me? Like,
I heard now I'm finna we're gonna make a left turn. Since you said Clubhouse for 2 seconds. I've been I have a coach and was told by her that it's like a lot of fake coaches on Clubhouse. Like there's a lot of people that just talking the talk. They have not walked the walk. So when you are looking for a coach, you really got to do your research on that person and make sure that they are legit. Because a lot of people can talk it, and then you look and they've never had a business. They don't know what they're talking about. They've never done anything. But that is one of the best advice is to find you someone who's already done what you're trying to do.
Find somebody, because a lot of and again, entrepreneurship is gonna hand you some. You remember your first apartment, girl?
Yeah. Look at me smiling. Mm-hmm.
You remember your first apartment, and you remember them days where you had to choose between groceries and the electric bill, or groceries and the gas.
I was very lucky. I didn't have those issues.
I had it, child. There was some times where I was pot pieing Kroger to death.
Hey, them Popeyes are good to this day. Now, baby, my kids love them Popeyes. I buy them all the time. They're about $2.
Right, exactly. So that's for those who went through that first apartment journey where you there was some months you didn't know where it was coming from and you ain't figure it out the first time, but every time you got another apartment, you got a little better. That's what entrepreneurship looked like.
It really is. It really is. And it takes a tough person. You gotta be strong to be able to do that. And I tell people all the time, if you don't have that motivation within, you're not gonna make it. Because if you're looking for a Sue and Sally to motivate you and pat you on the back, you are not gonna make it as an entrepreneur. You gotta have that within yourself. Can't rely on
and
nobody else.
and a circle of people who understand what you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
Because I promise you, a person who goes to work happy to be a 9 to 5er, and nothing is wrong with being a 9 to 5er. Let me
No.
make this perfectly clear. Everything is not meant for everybody.
That's right.
So if your passion is your 9 to 5, girl, enjoy your passion, because this
Mm-hmm.
journey is not for everybody.
Yeah.
But I said this, you can't, just like if I'm an accountant, I can't have a conversation about money with someone who works at the airport doing customer service. We
Mm-hmm.
don't have the same mindset. A nurse can't have a conversation with someone who owns a coffee shop. They're not in the same mind frame. They don't
Right.
have the same knowledge. It's the same thing with a 9 to 5 and an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
We're not in the same lane, and that's
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
Everybody is entitled to their lane, and I want you to be comfortable in that lane. But at the same time, you need people around you that are in your lane so
Mm-hmm.
that you can vent and they understand. It's not something like you're talking to a brick wall, like, oh my God, I don't
Yes.
know how I'm going to get these graphics done today. My client is really egging me on. Oh my gosh, a 9 to 5 would be like, girl, just go get a job. Why are you stressing yourself? And
Yeah.
you
Come
feel
work with
like,
me. We're hiring.
and you're sitting there like, that's not the problem. But an entrepreneur will be like, listen, I know this person, they do graphics, they got a 24-hour turnaround, it's really inexpensive. Just delegate
Mm-hmm.
that out. That's the difference in the conversation.
It is.
Or
Very.
I had a bad day. My client was like, I had a coaching session today, and oh my gosh, my client was on. She was in tears, and it just took a lot out of me. And I got 2 more coaching sessions today. And then you have that person who's gonna be like, girl, you got this. Let's
Mm-hmm.
laugh a little bit. Let's pick you back up and then go on so that you can go on with your day. You
Right.
need those core people.
Yes,
You need
definitely.
those core people.
Yeah, because
So
it's hard. It makes it twice as hard if you don't.
if you don't,
Yeah.
because the people around you that aren't in this journey are not going to understand. They're
No.
just not.
Not at all.
They're
Not
not
at
going to
all.
understand.
Also with It's Sudden Success, you do digital product creation too. You do a lot with this company. It's awesome. So with those digital with those digital products, what sort of products do you do for your clients?
So we are actually launching some mini courses this year.
Mhm.
And I love people who are looking to have the $5,000 and $6,000 packages. Those coaches are amazing,
Yeah.
but the newbie entrepreneur is not looking to spend $5,000 on a coach.
Mm-mm.
So we are coming out with mini courses for just the avenue that you want to learn, instead of having a lot of people suffer from knowledge overload.
Yeah.
So the mini courses are going to be just one subject.
Okay.
Hey, this is how you can do your accounting. Hey, this is how you set up your LLC. Hey, this is what you need to be looking at as far as a business plan. So it's just little mini courses that are inexpensive, under $100, so that people can get their foot in the door and actually learn what they need to learn on that particular subject, get it done, and then move on to the next. And we're going to do it in a series so that there's direction to it. But if someone comes in and they've already got this and this, they don't have to get that part. They can just
Mm-hmm.
start where they're at.
That is great. When y'all finish that, please send me the links so I
Absolutely.
can give them out to everybody, because there's so many people that can use those courses.
Yes, and we're doing it for startup businesses. So we're going to have my website is actually getting revamped as we speak, and we're going to have different pages for different parts of business. So for the startups, we're going to have the page where it's where like the LLCs and getting business funding and how to better your credit so that your credit profile will be in place, because banks are going to look at both. They're not just going to look at your business. Sometimes they want to look at the business owner, and you want to be strong in that area too.
Yes.
And then we're going to have for our seasoned entrepreneurs how to scale, how to hire a team, how to those key things that when you're in the scaling part, is it time to bring on partners? Is it time to switch over to corporations? That information, because everyone's going to start as an LLC, and that's great. But is your company in the direction where you want to sell it? Is your company in the direction where you don't want to sell it, but you want to put a board on it so that you can put it on the stock market?
Right.
What's the end goal? And so we will have the courses for those scaling companies, so that they can get to the next level, whether that be 7 figures, whether that be 8 figures, whether that be, they Paris Hilton's bestie. Like, I don't know.
Kim Kardashian.
You know what I'm saying? I want to hang out with Riri all day. Like, how do I get there?
I will buy her baby whatever she wants. I'm trying to get to be Riri's best friend.
Yes.
Oh, you are so great. How can my audience connect with you on social media? Where are you at on social media?
So my team got me everywhere, y'all. See how I said that? My team.
That's right. That's right. So you're on Facebook, and
I am on Facebook as Sherri Michelle with 1 L, as you see on the screen. That's important, the 1 L. Mm-hmm. Instagram, I am Sherri Michelle. Clubhouse at Sherri Michelle, and then LinkedIn, Sherri Richardson.
Do you do any shows on Clubhouse? Do you speak any?
I will actually be starting my series next month.
I thought about doing that, but I don't know. I think I got too much
Clubhouse, and for anybody who is looking to do public speaking, because public speaking is the easiest way to start a coaching company. Mm-hmm. Clubhouse is the easiest way to get started because it's less scary. Most people are scared of the stage. I absolutely love it. Mm-hmm. And if you're looking to do a show, holla at your girl. If you got something coming up where you need speakers,
that is something on my list. After I finish this membership that I'm doing, I am thinking of maybe like a summit or something like that. But that's in the works. Yes, that's in the works. But I know I will put you on that list.
So yeah, I speaking is definitely a whole thing in itself, and it's lots of money in speaking. But Clubhouse is a great way to break into that industry. So you get to speak to people, but they don't see you, but they hear you, and you get your voice and you get comfortable. And then you can add the video, and then you can add the stage. So right now is a great time to actually start that if any of you ladies are thinking about it, because you have Clubhouse, and then a lot of places due to the pandemic are still doing virtual engagements. Yeah. So it's easy for you to get something where you're just doing a computer like this. Yeah. This is essentially the same thing. So you can start this way, and then you can go to the live events. You have stepping stones. Everybody don't get that. So now is the time, because that window is closing really quickly. The US is like COVID what?
Yeah, definitely so. It's been so good having you on here. We're going to play a quick round of this or that. It's my favorite. Everybody's really loving this or that. At first, I thought it was corny, but now I see how everybody likes it. Huh?
I love this and that. Let's go.
Okay, so let me see. I got a whole list. Let's start with cats or dogs. I heard your dog earlier. Well, wait a minute. How you say a cat and I heard your dog?
So you heard a dog. That is my friend's dog that just happens to be here today.
Okay.
But cats are more independent, and cats are actually more intelligent, and they're less needy. So for I'm busy. I don't have the time to take a dog out 3 times a day, but I have time to change kitty litter once a week because they have the electronic ones that scoop back now. So I am most 100% a cat person. I love all animals, but I am cat dog, definitely cat.
And they got an electronic scooper?
Girl, yes, it's magic. They go and it has a little sensor in it, and as soon as they hop out, it just slides it into a trash can.
Ain't that something? They come out with so much stuff.
And you can potty train cats.
You can?
Yeah, girl, they'll go straight in the bathroom.
I had no idea. My kids want a dog really bad. I'm actually allergic. I gotta have one of those hypoallergenic dogs, and I don't know. We'll figure that out. I had no idea about that. A train or a plane?
Plane.
Plane. Have you ever been on a train?
I have been on several trains, and the
Really?
experience keeps going down.
Really? I've never been on a train. I've always wondered about that.
They are magical, but trains are good for short distances. Like if you're going to from like Atlanta to maybe the next state over, like Georgia to Alabama, that's a train ride.
Okay.
But I've actually ridden the train from Georgia to Washington, D.C., and it's a long, drawn out, like I'd rather fly. So flight.
Seems like you wouldn't even be able to sleep good on a train.
It depends on if you have Benadryl or not.
Well, I'll be good because I take melatonin, so I'll be
or melatonin. You took the words out of my mouth.
Yes. Call or text? Which one are you? Call or text? Which one would you rather?
It depends on who you are.
Oh my goodness. You're right though. That's a good answer. It depends.
It depends on who you are. If it's my mama, I love a call.
Right.
If it's somebody asking me for money, text me.
Okay. If it's my ex-husband talking about the kids, you can just text me, baby. I don't want to talk. Let me stop. Let me stop when he hear this and call me. Well, let's do a couple more. Let's see. Like I said, I have a whole list. Resort or cruise? Which one?
That's just evil.
That's a good question, ain't it?
That's a good one.
It is.
I'm going to go with resort right now because the cruise lines have been bugging. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with resort because typically with a resort you get free booze, you get this beautiful beach, like everything is taken care of you for a couple of days, like you're completely pampered. On a cruise, you have to buy extra packages and stuff. So, but the flip side, on a cruise, you get to go to multiple places in a couple of days.
Yeah,
so it's a toss up.
Yeah, it's like both.
But I'll say resort. During the pandemic, resort.
Okay. Comedy or horror movies?
Comedy. I can't do blood.
Really?
No. I'm a firm believer in you are what you eat, and that includes mental as well. So
really,
I do not watch. I limit crime TV. I limit horror. I don't watch horror at all. I just think the blood and gore is overkill. I can't watch it. It's too violent for me. Like people going through windshields and stuff. I can't do any of that.
It's too much.
And that's part of the reason why I'm so upbeat is because all I do is watch comedies and cartoons.
Anyway, let me just say that's really good because I hear myself included when I talk about if I watch the news, it makes y'all depressed. You're like, oh my God, I shouldn't watch the news.
You are what you eat.
Maybe I need to do that. Just comedy and cartoons.
Girl, I'm a cartoon head. I'm so glad they grew up with me. I will Rick and Morty myself to death.
Is that your favorite one? What's your favorite
American Dad is my absolute favorite cartoon.
I've watched that a few times.
Seth MacFarlane, like, I love that man.
I used to love Bob's Burgers. I haven't watched it in a
while.
I
love Bob's Burgers.
I love Bob's Burgers.
I love Bob, and it's such a corny cartoon, but it's amazing. I love Bob's Burgers.
I've got to get back into Bob's Burgers.
I am definitely Sherri Michelle cartoon head. I love it. Oh, Animaniacs, Bugs Bunny, like. Oh, yeah.
That you made me think of Saturday morning cartoons. What happened to that?
Rugrats. Oh my
gosh. These kids these days don't know nothing.
I got Paramount on my Amazon Prime just to watch Rocco's Modern Life.
Lord, I miss all of that stuff. Doug, what was that? Doug Funny. Oh, Nicola, oh,
Paramount, girl. It's all
bringing
on
me
there.
back, bringing me back. I want to just eat a bowl of cereal and sit in front of the TV like it's Saturday morning.
So yes, definitely comic cartoon.
That's
Definitely.
great. That's great. Well, it has been so great and refreshing having you on the show. I definitely got to have you back. Where we can talk.
Yes.
There's a load of things that we can talk about.
Absolutely.
So
I'm
definitely
all
got to
here
have you
for it.
back.
And guys, please hit me up. I'm always available because I got a team. So
That's right. You ain't got nothing else to do because they doing everything. So you can talk to her all day, y'all. DM or blow her Instagram up.
Yes. So hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on Facebook Messenger. I do answer my messages, y'all.
Yes.
And so if you guys need anything or want any advice, I give everything. So I'm not one of those type of people that hold on to it. If I got it, I'm gonna give it because it's gonna come back to me. So
amen.
and it ain't gotta be from you. It's gonna come back in some shape or form.
Amen. It sure will. Thank you so much, and we will talk again. All right, I'm gonna fish.